All right, and good evening, everybody. What is going on? And welcome to another awesome edition of BB Nation Radio. As always, I'm your host, J-Dub, coming at you live from the Cowboy Technology Studios here at the end of the Oregon Trail here in Oregon City, Oregon. And joined, as always, are my fellow co-hosts. With me is the one, the only Miss Sexy Girlfriend, Miss Mariah.
Oh, sexy girlfriend!
Oh my girl, you're so basic. Say you're basic, say you're easy.
And then also, as always, we got my good buddy, our fellow outdoor expert, and my fellow U.S. Army veteran, Mr. Dapper Sapper John Toll.
Here's Johnny.
The show can wait. I need to look pretty.
As he's throwing his hair around. And as always, the man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes, our producer, the high-tech redneck himself, good old Josh. So please remember to share our Facebook page with your friends over there at Backwoods Vets there on Facebook, as well as be sure to check out our official page at backwoodsvets.com, where you can catch up on all the latest and greatest of what's going on within Backwoods Veterans Media, as well as BB Nation. And don't forget to hit the little subscribe button down below there and click that little bell so that way you know whenever we go live, as well as upload new content for the channel. And want to give a quick shout out right quick to our friends and sponsors over at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com for all your shooting, reloading, and tactical needs, whatever it may be, whether shopping in store up in Sandy, Oregon, or shopping online. Be sure to hit up our friends at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com. Be sure you check out all the fine entertainment that we have to offer here on Backwoods Veterans Media by checking out our website of backwoodsvets.com. We got a couple events coming up on the calendar. First one is coming up. Josh, why don't you go ahead and hit us up on our first event that we have on the calendar right quick, because I know you're going to mention something about it here in a minute.
Well, I would hope I would.
One would believe.
One would believe if one was believing such things.
By God.
So this next week, actually this week, excuse me, starting on Thursday at noon, we are going to be out at the Redmond Sportsman Show out there at the Deschutes County Fairgrounds there in Redmond. And we will be hanging out with our good buddies over there at TFO, the Fallen Outdoors, and showing off our new rifle build and raffling it off to support them and to, raise money for TFO.
Exactly.
So it's going to be an awesome time. We'll be out there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I got to head back on over here back to the studio Sunday.
Yep.
I think John's going to still hang out there at the Sportsman Show on Sunday. That's not confirmed, but pretty sure he is. So
Yeah.
It'll be a good
you
time.
and I will be making the return trip.
Yes.
And maybe me.
And maybe you.
Or you can take the day off, Justin, on Monday, and you can just stay with me and be remote.
I'm already
Be my remote buddy.
I'm already taking Friday off, man.
I know. Gosh.
So anyhow, we have that coming up here this weekend. Then also over Memorial Day weekend on Saturday, bleh. I don't know why
Memorial
I'm
Day,
thinking that
not Labor Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 23rd at the Beaver Creek Saloon in Beaver Creek, Oregon. On what road, Josh?
Beaver Creek Road.
Thank you very much. We will be hosting our second annual Guitars for Stars this year, benefiting none other than the Fallen Outdoors.
Yay!
Yes. So it's going to be an awesome time. We got some great groups that are going to be coming out. Our good friends from December and singers like us are going to be coming out playing again. We're going to have our good buddy Richie, Redneck Pimp King. He's going to be making a trip from KC Mo as our guest MC. And he's going to be doing a little bit of stand-up in between music sets and whatnot. So it'll be cool hanging out with him, as well as many others from throughout the veteran community. I know, as a prime example, our good buddy Pete Barlow, the creator of the military comic G.I. Low. He'll be out hanging out with us. So it's going to be a good time.
Hey, that'll be 2 years in a row for him.
It will be 2 years in a row that Pete will be joining us.
See, he's going to have a one-up on Dakota.
Right?
He's got definitely a good track record.
Yes, he does. He has an awesome track record. So that's going to be a great time. And we got a lot of great donors and sponsors for that event. Folks such as Aero Precision, 6 Hour, which, by the way, John has another sponsor that he's probably going to mention here in a little bit. about that. I don't want to steal his thunder on that one.
But Mariah got a good sponsor too. So.
What's that?
Mariah got a good sponsor too. So
she did get one today. So, which by the way, high five to her. Good job. So she can bring in the sponsorships and donations. So, as well as and speaking of which, our good buddy Pete from GILO is going to be donating some merchandise as well to be raffled off. So it's going to be a great time with that one. So, with that being said, brings us into our roundtable discussion. John, what's new? What's happening with you, brother? I know you've been busy.
Yeah, made a turn and burn trip to Portland on Friday. That was fun, and then spent yesterday. So the rest of the week doesn't exist until Friday. My weekend review. Friday is the beginning and the end of my week for the most part. So made a turn and burn trip, which we'll talk about in the outdoor segment a little bit for G4S things. Also, I got confirmation on one of our new sponsors, Vortex Optics, is now officially decided to sponsor.
There you go.
Send us some items for raffles. So I'm telling you guys, you don't want to miss this year at G4S. It's gonna be there's gonna be some pretty cool stuff to win.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
Please, come and see us. And then Friday, like I said, made a turn and burn trip. Saturday, didn't do anything.
Oh, you guys didn't go hiking like you said you were going to?
The weather turned to crap yesterday. So,
okay.
We decided, and also because we didn't get home until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Just had a complete lazy day yesterday. It was fantastic.
Right on.
That's mine.
Mariah, I know you.
Can I just go to bed already?
You and I have definitely had at least the weekend portion was just crazy.
Yeah. I got off work late Friday night and went out and took care of the horse and everything. And then went home, went to bed early because I knew I was going to have a long day Saturday. J-Dub was still out doing the rifle and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I crashed out and got up early Saturday morning, finished up and pack up the kitchen stuff for the OHA banquet, which we'll touch more on in outdoor section, and worked in the kitchen. That was crazy long day, fast pace and everything. Got home about midnight, went to bed at 1 o'clock, and I was back up at 4 a.m. this morning. So
yeah,
it's been. My week wasn't that crazy, but the last 2 days have been crazy, and today was crazy already. So, yeah,
it's been
one of those days.
This is how we do it.
So, I'm definitely looking forward to sleeping tonight. Hopefully.
This is how we. Why wouldn't you sleep tonight, Mariah? What are you saying? Are you implying dirty things? Are you implying? PJs.
And
no.
it's PJs.
I heard
PJs.
You know how you fix this?
Super glue.
Then you can't give a blowjob, so yeah.
That's how the super glue goes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Keeps it going.
If you watch American Pie 2, that is exactly where the super glue goes.
Yes.
But anyways, no, I'm extremely tired and exhausted, but I'm still trucking through. So.
Like a champ. Like
How about
dad burn champ.
high tech?
Yeah, high tech. It is your turn.
Yeah, we had a great evening there Friday, and won't spoil the fun on that one. Hi, Katrina.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Everybody. So I forgot the most important show thing.
Well, what's funny is I actually had typed "Good evening, Katrina," and I just had never sent it, so now I don't have to send it because I just told her.
Hey, whatever works, man.
There you go, brewski up.
I love that beer.
So
Nom, nom.
yeah, had a good night doing that, and then took the dog to the vet and got him updated on all his shots and everything Saturday morning.
But he liked that.
Except for the shot in his head, but that's okay.
Oh.
No, actually, he did pretty good with it. They sprayed a little cheese whiz down on the floor, and he just sat there licking that up until they hit him in the rump with one, and he kind of turned back there for a second, but he won't actually bite or anything like that.
You're like,
so.
what bit me?
Yeah. Plus, I had a hold of him anyway.
Jumped up and bit me.
And then went to a benefit for the Estacada High School baseball last night through work. So that was a good time. Got to hang out with some people from work that I actually don't get to normally see because they're traveling around all the time. And so I had some good conversations and watched a few things go for a few dollars there.
Right.
So good fundraiser for them, and hopefully that takes care of them for the year. So
There you go.
and then my daughter and I went to church this morning, and so yeah, that was a good time as well. Other than
Nice.
that, got all of our stuff set up for our little spring break vacation that we take every year, and we're all locked and loaded for that, and away we
Finally
go.
Choose a place.
Yep, heading down to Southern Oregon.
Nice.
So
Good times.
lots of good stuff to see down there.
Heck yes. So,
So how about you, bud?
oh my God, where do I start?
Are you 2-ply, bud?
Oh no! By the end of this week, I'm feeling like the used end of it, like it's all
Stop hurting
freaking
me.
yeah, like it's all tore up and half flushed down and not all the way.
So 1-ply, bud.
Yeah, barely. We'll say soaked 1-ply right now. All
Damn, Daniel.
right. So, anyhow, no, it's a long week. They're at the workplace. Other than that, more of the same with that one. But yeah, like I said, we did the 408. I was 3. I can't even talk today. That tells you
OHA?
everything. No, we did the 308 build with our friends over there at the TFO with Jesse over at his place with the Dapper Sapper and High Tech. So got that taken care of. So looking forward to seeing the finished product of that once that's all done, because there's some engraving that was getting done on it. So did that, and then yeah, had the OHA banquet on Saturday,
Last night,
and didn't get home till 1 in the morning.
12. We went to bed at 1.
Turn out right back up to go hang out with our good buddy Glenn from over there at the Hillbilly Highway this morning on his gospel and classic country show this morning from 8 to 10, and then turn around and drove up to the Horse Expo, and then went home for, well, it was supposed to be a very brief period before coming over here. It did not turn into such. So, yeah, Josh was about ready to skin us for that one. He's like, clock's ticking, bro. You're late. Oh, I wish. No, it was like the total Jeff Foxworthy thing. It's like, where you talk about if you have the choice between sex or sleep, you choose sleep every time and just wish you have a dream. Certainly, I miss you. Because you're both just so daggone tired. Mm-hmm. So anyhow, but no, that's this week in a nutshell. So glad to see. Looking forward to next weekend. Heading over to Redmond for the Sportsman Show over there in Redmond. It's going to be a great time, and looking very much forward to it. So the pace never stops. Like they say, no rest for the wicked, right?
Yep.
So real quick, let me get to some people who've checked in here.
Absolutely,
we
good
had
sir.
Miss Injury Fall, who was the first one to check in. Hi, Annie. We said hi to Katrina live on the. What?
I totally forgot. Got so busy with everything else, I totally forgot.
What?
I am so sorry, Richie. I apologize. Because there was something I was supposed to do on the air with him tonight.
Oh, were you supposed to eat that stupid?
The peanut butter and pickle sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job. Way to go.
Peanut butter pickle time. Peanut butter pickle time.
Way out. There you
So
go.
let's see. So Richie, as you just mentioned, checked in. We got Jesse from TFO and Eric's Armory checking in. Dean Cerny's with us tonight. And Mickey Severson, the Harambe Keeper, is fashionably late.
As always.
And then he also says that Harambe Keeper has too many irons in the fire.
That'll happen.
And the Harambe Keeper's brain is mush. Well, there you go.
How it
From-
usually goes, man.
From the mouth of the Harambe Keeper himself.
Exactly.
And go on.
So, all right. Well, it is 6:16 out here on the West Coast. We are running a tad bit behind, but what do you say we go ahead and jump right into it? Right into our outdoor segment with the Dapper Sapper himself. Good old John. This outdoor segment is brought to you in part by Eric's Armory. And now, for your outdoor segment host,
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
All right, guys, what is up? I am your outdoor co-host, the Dapper Sapper, John. So first off, by the way, spare Galil mags, empty ones, make really good bottle openers.
well done, good sir. Well
Thought I
done.
would share
Hey, that's a hell of an outdoor tip right there.
Right?
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna market this. We're gonna get a whole bunch of surplus 10-round Galil mags, Backwoods Veterans bottle openers.
There you go. Right there. Boom. That's why you're
Anyways.
the marketing guy.
Anyways, what is up, guys? So today we have actually quite a bit to go over on the outdoor segment. So first, we're going to start it off first with the frivolities of Friday night. The reason why I didn't do anything on Saturday and why I got home at 3 a.m. Because in the picture there in front of you, you can see that this year's rifle raffle being built on the Vice. They're in Jesse's garage. Yeah.
Jesse says, "Who moved the beer?"
Nobody moved the beer. There's a beer in the pic. What are you talking about? There's a beer right there on the right side of the screen. Jeez.
I think that was one of the later pictures where Jesse added the beer behind the gun.
Well, there's plenty of beer in these pictures.
I'm not sure if that's a beer on the right-hand side of the picture or a White Claw.
Well, Clayton was there,
No,
so.
that's beer. That's not pot.
Yeah.
That's not enough to be a White Claw.
No, that's an IPA.
It was probably Clayton.
Hey,
Moving right along.
moving right along. Here's kind of more of the pictures of the starting to build. Next picture. That's the bolt carrier. For those of you that don't know what a bolt carrier is.
Herp and derp.
So, the first part of the finished product. So, I am pleased, along with everybody that I work with, to present to you the Backwoods Veterans AR-10 M5 E1 308 build from Aero Precision and 6 Hour and Eric's Armory and Backwoods Veterans. Ta-da-da!
Ta 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 ta.
Well, this is the rifle that will be on display at the Sportsman Show here this coming week, along with us and TFO, of course, because it's their booth, and it's going to be amazing. We are doing pre-sale of these tickets, so this year is going to be a bit different, you guys. You don't have to be there to win it, but you got to buy a ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
So make sure you put your phone numbers on the back of the daggum tickets.
Yeah, make sure you do. So, like, if you come get a ticket,
Pineapple
this first
cider.
sale of tickets, you have to come to the Sportsman Show to buy them. If we're going to do any other pre-sales of tickets, we'll release that info at a later date and time. But for right now, come on down to the Sportsman Show and put in a ticket, buy a ticket to win this. Trust me, you guys, this rifle is awesome. Next picture. Please, Josh. Yes. It is pretty, it is sexy, and it's going home with me in my
Nice.
That's a whole lot sexier than my 308, let me just tell you.
Right.
And this one will shoot semi-automatically.
I like that even
Full
better.
semi-automatic.
Full semi. But, yeah, as Jesse says, if you don't know a BCG, we can't be friends. I would tend to agree. If you've been watching the show for any length of time and you don't know what a BCG is, or if you watch the show at all and don't know what a BCG is,
Yeah.
yeah.
A what?
I swear to God,
Oh.
Mitchell.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Boo.
There, you just got buzzed.
Boo.
No. That doesn't even deserve a buzz. That deserves an old soundbite of believe me and
hold on a second.
you and Carl. He knows which one because I'm pointing at the door.
Yeah, but it's a matter of where
Get the fuck out!
There you go.
Anyways, next picture, if you please, kind sir.
Oh,
Yes.
porn shot.
Porn shot. Definitely porn shot.
Hey, who's that fuzzy guy in the background?
That fuzzy guy in the background would be Jesse.
What kind of
Definitely
fuzzy?
Mr. Jesse.
And Mickey says he would need backup iron sights because he's just obnoxious like that. Well, luckily there's lots of room on that rail. You can put iron sights on it.
Yeah. Just
You
saying.
put iron sights on that, it's a sin. You don't need them.
Yeah, right?
This is a precision rifle, not a battle rifle.
Fair enough. Jesse says, the porn star.
Richie says, how many bolts can a bolt carrier can a bolt carrier carry if a bolt carrier could carry bolts? And good evening,
he says,
Pete.
"Hi." Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening, kind. So, anyways, next photo. I don't remember how many photos I submitted. Next. Already seen that one.
Oh, well, that was in there.
Hey, look, somebody's sweet tea.
And you're done.
Oh, that was it. So, yeah, guys, we worked on Friday night. I left after work, went straight over to Eric's house to pick up all the parts and bring them down to Jesse's house. And we proceeded to build this wonderful thing. Trust me, guys, you don't want to miss out on this. It's like I've already touted before, it's a one-of-a-kind paint job from Aero Precision. There hasn't been a paint job. They haven't released a paint job like this. And it's it's pretty much 100% an Aero Precision product minus the SIG scope and the Magpul furniture. So
Yeah.
it's got a Aero Precision 308 heavy profile gunner barrel to it, and that Sig Sauer Whiskey 3 scope on it is probably one of the more clear scopes I've ever looked through, especially with that battery in there. That red dot is so absolutely on that Hellfire crosshair. It's a pretty sweet rifle, you guys. And like I said before, the gal that won the RCF rifle last year put 2 tickets in the last 30 minutes of the event.
Yep.
And she won the rifle. So what can it hurt to, pitch in a couple tickets? So come see us at the Sportsman Show. We'll be there with the guys from TFO. This rifle will be there too. Buy a couple tickets. You never know what might happen. So it's all going to support a great cause.
Indeed, it is.
And a huge thanks to Eric's Armory for helping us get that all together and assembled.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And my usual pitch, you guys, if you haven't gone and checked out Eric's Armory yet, please go check them out. Justin, your build's is basically done.
Yep.
So be seeing that probably here in the not too distant future. I'm still waiting on parts from Geisley, but another pitch to our awesome sponsor. Geisley is like over 5-6 months out on normal orders. I got a special order coming in because Eric and Jesse are awesome. So hopefully within the next 6 weeks or so, get my parts. 6 months.
Jesse says buy 5 tickets. You might get a beer from the cooler at the show.
Ooh.
There you go.
There you go, guys.
Buy 5, get 1 beer free.
So
Compliments of
please,
Jesse.
please, you guys go check out Eric's Armory. They're awesome. They treat you like family. If you're a vet, you get discounts. They can get you any product that you can possibly imagine. If they don't have it, they can find it and get it to you. And of course, they ship to any FFL. So with that, I'm going to hand it now. We're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to hand it over to Justin and Mariah.
Okay. Yes, our lovely OHA banquet helping out the local pioneer chapter of the Oregon Hunters Association. This was a fun event last night.
Yeah, a quick little thing with OHA is that I have been a member for almost 22 years of OHA, and any money raised with OHA helps benefit the wildlife and wildlife habitat, as well as restoration projects, and it helps the youth and everything, and it stays in Oregon, which is nice with that.
Aren't you only like 20 though?
Keep dreaming. And there's different chapters throughout the state of Oregon. So if you're looking to look at a chapter that has to do with this and everything, check them out online at the OregonHuntersAssociation.com and find your local chapter with that. Each chapter does their own little things, and Pioneer Chapter puts on a bunch of stuff here in the Willamette Valley.
Yes.
So with that, we put on a banquet every year. We've been doing it. This was when was it?
I have no idea how many times they've done it.
A
This
lot.
is like the 8th one I've been to.
This is the, I think, 16th or 17th one I've been to. And my family, my mom and everything, my mom is the head person, heads up the kitchen for that. And we have an awesome dinner and everything. We get smoked prime rib and pork loin and garden salad and corn, green beans and all that. Yes, but so we got in. Joey, Deb, and I helped in the kitchen, which was a great help to have him there. There's about 500 people attending this banquet last night, and there was a bunch of giveaways.
Oh my God! Yes, as you can see from up here in the pictures, like this one right here. This is some of the bucket raffles and stuff that they had going on.
So for a bucket raffle is a big group of items that you buy tickets for that are only for the buckets numbers 0 through 8. And the number 0 bucket actually has a rifle giveaway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We also have general raffles at our banquet and everything. And there was 10 items per general raffle with the spike, ladies, and big game raffles.
Which we have pictures of in here. So, there's a tent.
We have the canvas wall tent that we give away each year. I know a couple people that have won that and everything and absolutely love it.
J-Dub, did you win that?
I wish.
No.
Dude, if I won that tent, yeah. Be like, forget the trailers, forget all this crap. Because that has the wood stove and everything else that comes with it too. So that'd be like, guess what, boys? If we're going elk hunting, we're elk hunting in traditional fashion.
Now, does it come with the guys to come and set it up for you?
No.
Oh, of course the guy's got to set it up. The guys that take it out to the field.
But it does have a metal pipe frame inside the tent, so that makes it really easy and nice to set up.
Well, that's much better than a PVC frame.
I'm already planning on buying a wall tent for this elk season. It's already been budgeted.
Wow, you budgeted that and your Threadner blackout? That's pretty good.
Your super Gucci?
Yes.
As Eric likes to call it, the super Gooch?
I did. Yeah,
Anyhow.
I fell in love with that Anaklac from Cabela's and that Anaklac Guide 10, and I really like that tent. So,
Right.
J-Dub, you got more information on this than what I did.
So these guys were they were there working in partnership with the Pioneer Chapter from OHA with Mule Deer Foundation. They were actually they had another rifle there that they were raffling off, and if you bought a shot glass, you got a ticket that went into the raffle for the rifle that they had there. So
I think I heard something that they ended up with
about
like 50 guns that were raffled or
but it was like
won.
$20 a freaking ticket though.
Yes.
For those things. So that's a spendy shot glass, man.
how much was it?
$20. But that put you in for the drawing for the rifle. So
yeah.
That was a nice one though. It was a what was that?
I don't know. I was in the kitchen.
I think it was a 6.5. I think it was a Creedmoor. So, anyhow, moving along. Yes, the Wall of Guns.
Wall of Guns. So they have a gun raffle there. It's called Wall of Guns. They have a tall wall and short wall. It's different calibers. Depends on which side of the wall they go on. You would get one raffle ticket for $50 for the short wall for the lower calibers, or $100 for the higher calibers for one ticket.
Damn.
For every 10 tickets sold, a gun was given away, which the rifle that is there on the green tablecloth, that one, I know who got it. She's been wanting that gun for quite a while, so she's so happy she got it, but she goes, I don't want to say how much I dropped into it to get it.
You know, I see something in that picture that looks vaguely familiar, but we'll talk about that one here in a second. Go ahead, Josh. The next one. Hey, look at that. I wonder where that one looks
Sky
familiar.
9mm. I have one like this, and
Identical?
I absolutely love it. I made a joke with J-Dub that, hey, I'm going to try and get this gun. And he goes, which one? I was that little pistol right there. And he looks at me and goes, you have that. Why do you need another one? As that way I have dueling pistols. And he laughed.
I was like, oh my God, she's going full Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Akimbo!
We were so tired last night. We had to do something.
This next one, though, this next handgun, whoa. I saw this, I was like, oh man, if only I had a little bit more money, I would definitely be dropping some tickets in to try and get that bad boy.
Yes.
So,
what do you think of that one, John?
Meh.
Meh.
It's a 1911.
Yeah. The powder.
I like 19. Don't get me wrong. I like 1911s, but having had one, Para Ordnance, true high cap, they're so freaking heavy. They're not a good carry pistol at all. They're big, they're bulky, and yeah, but they're fun to shoot.
They were a lifesaver back in the day. Just saying.
Absolutely.
That's why a lot of guys carried them in the service.
Yeah, that's a big bastard.
Yes, it is.
Bastard.
Yeah, even Pete's like, that's patriotic. So anyhow,
Very patriotic.
This is one of the raffles I was talking about. It's different groups of items. It was donations put together and everything. So we don't do they don't do small raffle items or anything. They make a big group of them, which is nice.
and I try, guys. I try to get us try to get us hooked up. I did put in for some of the items on this table, and one of them that I was trying to there was one of the raffles there for the big game table. If you look, there's actually a cooler there. As I can't remember what brand. I can't remember if it was a.
It was a Yeti.
Yeah, I think it was a Yeti, and it had a little pop up next to it. I was like, that would be nice for going to events like I don't know out there at Threat Dynamics and stuff like that. That way, we're not having to do it in the rain or anything else, and have to scramble for a pop up shelter. To be specific. So, I try, guys, but my number didn't get drawn. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's okay. I failed at the silent auction at the baseball deal too. So
Don't.
there was a really nice cribbage board that had like a elk thing in the middle.
You
of
would have made Pops' day
Oh, I know.
if you'd have gotten that and taken that up to Elk Camp or something.
It
You'd be
was this
like,
big
you want to
cir-
play cribbage?
Yeah, it's this big circular, cribbage board and all that. Just beautiful. And and then come to find out, my boss ended up being bidding on it against me, and he didn't even win it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Got him. Anyhow, and again, here's a spike raffle. Nice little trap shooting 12 gauge that they had there on the end, too.
So along with the raffles that they do, they also do a live auction and silent auction. So it's a big event to put on everything. It takes about 9 months to put it together, but it's nice to be able to go to something like that helps support. And also, they have a raffle specifically for veterans.
Yes.
So it's very nice.
Hats off to whoever made the sign for the tumbler.
It's coming up.
You guys will see here in a little bit. So
Ladies raffle.
yes, the ladies raffle
For the lady.
for the ladies.
You don't always have to.
They also do a 12 and under giveaway, a door prize raffle, and a wife appreciation, because not all women like to go outdoors and everything.
I think you mean a sandwich maker.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
Wait, so is it
Wait,
sandwich maker or taco maker?
Taco maker. No, sandwich maker.
Which, by the way, Taco Maker, glad to see you jumped in finally.
And for all you ladies out there, happy International Women's Day / Sandwich Makers Day.
Here you go. Veterinez.
Veterans.
Veterinez. That's what
Veterinez.
bless their hearts or the intent. However, it had to be one of the kids I was helping out. Hey, Miss.
Sadly, no. I know who made that. I'm not going to put the name out on air.
Oh, is it who I think it is?
Probably.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give that individual a very, very bad time.
Yes.
Fail.
Epic fail. Consider the fact that this person is a veterinary themselves. No regrets, man. No regrets.
This was some of the live auction items.
That was the that was actually the attendance raffle.
Attendance raffles. Okay.
So some items they were giving away for people that basically the door prizes.
Yep.
So you got a ticket for showing up and went into the tumbler, and if your name got drawn, you got to pick an item from there. So, yes, some of the guns that they were raffling off there, and the one right there in the center right, that was their key gun that they gave away.
Yep.
last night. That was actually pretty cool to watch. Unfortunately, you were trying to get a video of it, and then there was one of the...
let's just not go there, because that pissed me off.
There's one guy, Mariah's trying to catch it on video, and anytime that Mariah would move to get a clear shot of how it was going down, one of the guys that got a key for the key gun
he would step in front of me.
kept just standing right
so
in the frame.
all I'd
just
see
kept
was
moving.
his ass in the whole frame. I'm like, seriously?
Panic mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
I move. He moves. I was like, really? I started getting really mad.
Turned down for what?
Yeah, basically. So.
Next picture, please.
Yep, next one. Then that was a stuff for the veterans raffle.
Yes. How many pictures did you upload?
Oh, I took a bunch of
A
pictures.
lot.
Yeah.
So, all right,
We're going to
next
start
one.
going through them fairly quickly so we don't get behind anymore.
Right.
This was a 12 and under drawing, so if there's a 12 and under kids, they got put into the drawing for free. This is all stuff that's been donated.
Yep.
Nice. Next.
This would be Mariah's
That
mom.
was my mom putting on this. She's the head of the kitchen crew and everything. We were just setting up the buffet line behind her and everything. And Justin's like, "Hey, look at me!" And she turns to what? And she sees his camera up, so she's like, "Hi!" Other than that, she does not like her picture taken, really.
She was a good sport about it last night, though.
Yeah, she was.
For your eyebrow.
Moist.
Next.
Infinite PJ.
We actually had a full bar staff
Full service
there,
bar.
so it was very nice.
To include Pendleton whiskey. Nom, 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 nom. Moving right along. Yes, and as if you couldn't tell, this was at the... the Willkommen. This was at the Fest House out there in Mount Angel where they do Oktoberfest every year.
This was the first year that we had moved it to this location because we need a bigger venue, which hopefully we'll need a bigger venue here soon for G4S.
Be awesome.
But we had to move to a bigger venue and everything, and we still packed it.
Yep. All right, next one. Again, another picture of the stage and stuff. The crowd that was there.
Big, full crowd.
Wapiti.
That
Hello.
is... what do I call it?
I don't know.
I think they call that one Howard.
What?
They call that elk Howard.
Why do they call it Howard?
Because it was donated by a gentleman. His last name was Howard, and he passed away. And when he passed away, right before he passed away, he donated it to OHA for
okay.
display. So we call it elk Howard.
They should call him Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have to put that one in there.
Yep. Yes, I did.
So we were
I
tired.
shall rename him Bruce.
We were tired and trying to make light of it and everything, and tried to get a good picture of my mom. And yeah, we're kind of goofing off a little bit.
And of course, Ryan and I at the beginning of the evening before we started serving meals and whatnot. So.
Yeah, running around.
Yep. So they're in front of the OHA banner. And this is the front side of the fest hall there in Mount Angel where the event was held. So I literally had to stand about 20 feet off the road, across the road.
It's a big hall.
From the venue to get the whole thing in frame. And even then, in this picture, it's, still not all there.
Not too often do you get all this neatness in one location.
So
Exactly.
it was a great time last night. And like I said, if you're interested in going to an event like this, come check ours out in when?
May
23rd.
23rd.
There you go. So check
Ours
our
is
event.
definitely more of a party, though.
Yeah, check out our event May 23rd and everything. And if you want something a little bit more relaxed but has a bunch of giveaways and everything and is an awesome thing to check out OHA as well, or at least go onto their website and everything. So it's a great time, but it takes a lot of work to put it on. They have a whole banquet committee that helps put it on and everything, and it's all ran by volunteers.
Yep.
So
it was a good time to
pretty
actually
awesome.
be able to go out and help out with an event like that, benefiting a great organization. So, yep, good time. So, all right, John, back to you, brother.
Sweet. Awesome, guys. Thanks for the update on the OHA banquet.
So glad it's over, though.
I'm sure. It definitely looks like a lot of work. My hat's off to you guys and everybody else that helps put that amazing event on. To, like you said, the proceeds stay in the state of Oregon, which is amazing. Next on deck, we have a story that comes to us from one of my favorite contributors, Outdoor News. I found this article kind of interesting. Smuggled elk poses a mystery for Montana wildlife officials. You heard that right. Smuggled elk.
How do
Howard?
you smuggle? Yeah, who smuggled Howard?
It's not Howard anymore. It's Bruce. Okay.
You can call him Bruce. That's fine.
Bruce.
Is he almighty?
I don't know about Bruce Almighty.
Not anymore. He was at one point.
Anyhow, go ahead, John.
So, anyways, article reads: a Montana game warden learns of an unusual elk shot along the Rocky Mountain front. The animal has physical peculiarities unlike anything the department has seen before. Genetic testing reveals that the young bull is of an exotic subspecies and that it came from a herd more than 600 miles from where it was shot. How did it get there? Who released it into the wild? What would have happened had the bull lived intermingling for years with Montana's native elk population? When a new disease appears in humans, pathologists make an effort to identify patient zero, the first person to become infected with the new pathogen. Finding patient zero is important because knowing the person's history can help determine how and when the outbreak started. Well, maybe they should figure that out with coronavirus.
I was going to say.
Just saying. This unusual 2-year-old elk harvested 16 months ago in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains is Fish and Wildlife's Elk Zero. Elk Zero, I like that.
Sounds like a drink.
Right. It wasn't just an elk, remarked David Holland, game warden, captain for Montana Fish and Wildlife and Parks in the Great Falls Tribune. It had the ability to be an ecological disaster. And that's not usually what you want to hear about your game species.
No.
On October 20th, 2018, a spike bull elk was legally harvested north of Shoto. The hunter didn't immediately notice anything unusual about the animal and took it to a wild game processor to have it butchered. It was there that things began to get interesting. According to Holland, when the hunter returned to check on his order, the processor asked him what the deal was with the elk's antlers. The bull's spikes had been painted orange, and the hunter hadn't noticed because he is colorblind. The elk's fluorescent antlers weren't its only unusual feature. When Warden Ron, his last name is Duty, Warden Ron Duty inspected the animal's carcass, he discovered it had been castrated. Duty began asking people around Shoto if they had ever seen the elk or knew who was responsible for it. People had videos of this elk, he recalled. It would walk right up to people. Obviously, humans had been interacting with this elk probably since it was a calf. Some of the locals had given it a name, Buford. I like that name. The elk's name is Buford now.
Buford T. Justice.
Right. Buford T.
No one
Wapiti.
claimed responsibility nor claimed to know its origin. The possibility that the elk had somehow escaped or been released from a regional game farm was also explored, but there was no record of the missing animals, something that would have almost surely existed had it been raised in commercial captivity. Game farms are highly regulated, Holland noted. They have to be fenced. All the animals have to be documented, and when they're harvested, they have to be inspected. Fish and Wildlife interest in the case was motivated by more than simply idle curiosity about unusual domestic elk, not knowing that elk zero came from, or whether it was just one member of a larger group of introduced elk, could have serious animal health implications, which is definitely not true,
Right.
Right. That's there could be some huge problems with that. The importation of any animal brings with it a full community of parasites, pathogens, explained Emily Elmsberg, the disease ecologist for Montana Fish and Wildlife Parks. Some things might be pretty benign, but there are things that we worry about that might be difficult to detect just by looking at the animal. So, yeah. So I'm going to cut that article just a little bit short on that one because this article is very, very long. But yeah, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, about, the wasting disease and stuff like that,
Right.
Right. how this stuff actually gets started, because some of these diseases aren't actually, I guess if you want to call it, normal. What's the word I'm looking for? They're just not normal diseases, not something that just pops up, kind of like coronavirus for animals. It's not just something that metastasizes out of nowhere.
The chronic wasting disease that kind of affects the whole herds and everything. Yes. It's not good.
Oh, hey.
Corona wasted virus?
Than a vet tech or vet person.
Right.
Yeah, sadly, when it attacks one animal in the herd, if that herd is in a breeding herd, then the genetics from that animal are going to be passed on to the herd and everything. And then it just goes on from there. But if you can take that bad genetic out, it's better for the breeding populations and everything. Because not only is it just a bad genetic that it could be, but it could cause other issues as well on down the line. So.
It seems like they got pretty lucky in that they caught this elk.
Yeah,
that could have ended up not being good for the native herds in Montana for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I say you got to take the bad genetics out. Otherwise, it's just gonna diminish the herd down and everything. So, and usually, if there's one bad genetic crossed with another one, it's just a bad thing for all things around and cause more issues.
The hills have eyes.
I mean, we don't need any more chronic wasting disease out there. It's already an epidemic as it is.
It's a very, very miserable, slow death for the animal.
Mm-hmm.
So I said hills have eyes.
Hills have eyes. Not good. So with that, like I said, that article went way deep down the rabbit hole after that point into the science of why domesticated
science, man.
Science, man.
Yeah.
As to why elk shouldn't, domesticated elk, if you can call them that, shouldn't be released into the wilds outside of the commercial,
and a lot of times when they're domesticated, just like when we domesticate horses, their natural habits change. They're not used to being in a fenced area. They're used to being able to roam free, and they're a browser and everything, where now if you put them in captivity, you're giving them the hay and all that type of stuff, so it's going to change them
browsing
all the way.
Browsing for porn?
No.
Elk porn?
Only if you want to, Dapper.
Pornhub? What?
No.
But yeah, it sounds like it was overall good.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad I found that article. So if you see, if you're out hunting in Montana and happen to run across a spike elk that has orange horns, make sure you report it to Fish and Wildlife and Parks, in Montana, because that could be a, as they call it, typhoid Mary in the elk world.
Yep.
Right.
So,
better get that elk zeroed down.
Right. So that is all we have for the outdoor segment this week. You guys, again, please go check out our sponsors at Eric's Armory at ericsarmory.com, or on their Facebook page or Instagram page at Eric's Armory, and go check them out, see what they can do for you, see what kind of weapons they can hook you up with, and much, much more. Don't forget to come check us out at the Sportsman Show this upcoming week on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, over at the Redmond Fair and Expo Center in Redmond, Oregon. We will all be there at one point or another. I will not be there until Friday, because that's the only day that I could get off. But I believe High Tech will be there on Thursday.
High Tech will be there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yep.
So we'll be there with Jesse, and oh, look, Eric and Julie made it to the show. So
Yay!
Not a whole lot, but you missed the pictures of the rifle there, top. So we'll have to put those up if Eric asks politely.
He can just go back and rewatch.
That's what replay is for.
Yeah, but we can also post it up again. I don't mind posting that up again. Well, I'm sure Josh does, but.
Well, consider the fact we got to get the show moving back to right on along. So
no, we're good. So yeah, please go hit them up, and that is all I have for you guys this week.
My man. All right. Well, thank you for that, John. Do you appreciate it, brother?
Nothing says I break technology like a joint YouTube account.
And Jesse,
Good call, Jesse.
I didn't know.
Touche.
Point.
No comment on that.
All right. Josh, what do you say we go and move to the next segment and get this show back on the road with this week's edition of Pop's Takes? Hit it, good sir. We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You want it raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because it does makes her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
All right, and we are back with another edition of Pop's Takes here on BB Nation Radio. So, oh man, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just kind of resting and taking it easy today. But I sure have had a busy week watching some of that primary stuff and everything.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's been real interesting. And I'll tell you what, them two are sure going at it now.
Oh, with Bernie and Joe Biden?
Right, oh.
So now we have Commie Bernie and Senile Biden going at it.
They're really getting insulting to one another. It's really interesting.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, just Biden saying that Bernie's strictly a communist. You call him a communist, not just socialist, but a communist, which most of us think he is. Sanders is just ripping up Biden about his mistakes that he's made, and now he's bringing in that Burisma stuff from Joe.
So now Bernie's getting on the Burisma train, huh?
It's really been ridiculous.
Now, I know he got on here earlier about the whole NAFTA thing, too, about his stance with NAFTA.
Oh, yeah, he just been ripping him up about that, too. Biden, he just keeps bragging about all that stuff he did that everybody's undone and tried to make it better, and it's had much better contracts and everything with him now than we had then, with Mexico and Canada. And it's just changed everything so much. But what really surprised me is they were talking about the votes that the different ones got in the primary, and that the primary with no contested votes, that Trump got more votes in the primary and the Republican primary than all of the candidates put together that were still on the primary Democrats.
I believe it.
So I guess that's kind of stuff I've been kind of watching, keep an eye on, and see how it's going.
Right? Yeah, the primary race has been it's been crazy so far this year, and it's like everyone just dropped like flies after the Super Tuesday primaries.
They got what the Democrat establishment wanted. They got Biden a bunch of votes and got him in the lead. Right,
which we all kind of figured was going to happen.
Well, like the guy says, that Warren, she didn't do Bernie or any favors. They said that Bernie could probably have won more of the states if she hadn't have been in it, because she took enough votes away from him to keep him from winning the state. Man, this thing is getting ridiculous.
Okay, so your long-term prediction as far as this race goes with the Democratic primary, who do you think is going to wind up coming out of it so far, as it sits right now, with the way that things have gone? Do you think it's going to be Biden or Bernie?
I think it's going to be Biden.
You think Biden's going to get the nomination?
Yeah, because that's what the establishment wants, and they're doing everything they can to block Bernie from getting it. Let's face it, the Democrats aren't stupid. They don't want to have a communist country here where it's everything taken over by the government. They want to be in control. The Democrats want to be in control of the Congress and the president, state, and everything else, but they're not stupid enough to realize that they don't realize that we cannot have a communist state here.
That's very true. I was going to say, because
it's a constitutional state.
And that was going to be my next question to you, is it because of the fact that Bernie is so far progressive off to the left in regards to with his political standpoints, because he is a socialist borderline communist versus Biden, who's that more moderate? I mean, granted, but Biden has that running against him right now with his whole mental state.
Well, I agree.
To put it for nicely terms.
Let's face it, neither one of them are going to make it to the presidency. They might get nominated because they're the only thing they got. But then again, they may come up with a surprise at the convention if neither one of them's got the 1,900 and some votes that they got to have to win outright the primary. Then they might come up with somebody of their own.
Do you think the convention's going to be contested?
Oh, I think it will.
Only time will tell on that one, because, okay, now here's a question. If it does become contested, who do you think the Democratic convention's going to go with?
Hillary Clinton.
You think Hillary's going to come back?
I think they'll bring her back. I don't think it's a smart move on their part, but I think that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think that'd be political suicide on the Democratic Party's part if they brought Hillary in.
They've already committed it. They've already committed suicide, as far as I can see. People are just getting wised up to what they're trying to pull. And what they've done in the last 3 years, especially the last year and a half after they got control of the House, what the Democratic Party's done is just they've tried to destroy the country. They just don't like Trump so much that they'd rather destroy the country and you and I than have him gain anything or be successful at all.
Right, is very true. So I'll agree with you on that one. Okay, so moving on to something a little bit farther outside of the political realm. The big conversation here lately has been talking about road safety as far as commercial driving and things like that. Now, you heard about, they finally did give a confirmation as far as the exact numbers of vehicles that were involved in that big crash down there on Interstate 80 here on last Sunday.
I never did hear.
It was a big, originally it was reported as one pileup, but it was actually 3.
Well, I knew that there was more than one, but
yeah. One was, the original count was around 140 vehicles, but they finally got confirmation because it was one crash at 40, one crash at 30, and one crash at 25, which puts the counts at 95 vehicles, all in all, because some of the vehicles that weren't involved were calculated because of the weather conditions and everything else originally. 3 people dead, several injured, which, in all honesty, for something like that is very, very fortunate.
Well, what do you expect? They drive 90 mile an hour down there. If you're not driving at least 75 to 80 mile an hour on those freeways, you're going to get run over.
Yeah, but it's all freaking snow and it's all snow and ice. I mean, as a commercial driver, you really going to be driving like that in that type of weather?
Well, you wouldn't be. I wouldn't think so, but some of the not commercial drivers that are causing the problem. It's your non-commercial drivers that are going so fast, and they're creating problems for the commercial drivers.
Now, this one was actually, it was because of a commercial rig that had pulled off. He tried to pull off to the side, but wasn't far enough, so he literally was still in the middle of the freeway.
Right, I heard something like that, and he would stop because he couldn't see to go any farther.
Now, do you believe that having comms in your vehicle, aside from just like a cell phone or things like that, do you believe that's still essential? Like having like the Citizens Band radio or CB radio or things like that, so that way they can at least try to alert drivers back behind them?
I don't know. I've got one in my old pickup, the 77. I got one in my Chevy, and I got one in the motorhome. I personally don't like driving without one. I mean, I don't use it much except for monitoring. I turn it on to listen to 19 and see if there's any problems on the roadway or anything like that.
Right. The reason I asked this is because I was actually watching a video here last night, and I actually been kind of monitoring that whole Wyoming situation, because I used to drive long haul.
Right, I know.
They actually had a wreck here not too long ago, just outside of Elk Mountain, just out of that area up there along Interstate 80, right there, kind of in between Laramie and Cheyenne, climbing the hill there. They're on Interstate 80, and fortunately it was only like 4 vehicles. 2 of them were FedEx trucks pulling double triples. There was a driver that had stopped going eastbound, had stopped, pulled off on the side, completely off the side, had his 4-ways on, and was calling people, let them know, hey, by the way, it's bad down here. You guys need to slow it down, take it easy. One FedEx truck had actually pitched sideways across the freeway. He watched it happen and was calling to another driver saying, hey, you need to back it down, and they just wound up plowing into each other. As soon as the wreck happened, he got out of his truck, ran up to go help, to make sure everyone was okay. When he asked the lady, one of the drivers of the FedEx truck, he's like, hey, do you guys not have your radio on? First words out of her mouth was, nobody uses those anymore. I'm sorry, what? Your reaction.
Well, a commercial driver, I don't see how they could drive without having it on. They know that way they keep track of what the other drivers see ahead of time. They're forewarned, and they tell them whether it's clear sailing or whether they got to back off. And if you listen to that and pay attention to it,
right,
you're going to save a lot of lives. The other thing too is I don't know if they don't turn their GPSs on. I don't know if they have them in their big trucks or not. But a GPS, if you turn it on, will tell you if there's a traffic problem ahead and everything else.
Right.
All you got to do is put it into your GPS to tell you what the traffic
conditions are and stuff, especially when the roads are getting nasty going through there. So
I know when I go to the coast, I turn mine on. That's what I put all that on, going and coming, because you know how it is over there on 26.
Oh yeah, going over the coast range and stuff between Portland and the coast. So, all right, we're gonna go wrap this up. We'll actually talk a little bit about this kind of thing next week.
Sounds good.
So something that's a little bit of ways from politics and something else. Well, thank you very much, everybody, and we will talk to you all next week on Pop Stakes right here on BB Nation Radio. All right, and we are back. So, there he is. I was going to say, wait, where'd John go? But never mind, he's right there. So,
How about that?
Yeah, how about that shit? So,
John.
definitely a different take on things when you start thinking about when it comes to safety out there on the road. There's a reason why those radio communications were invented. Just saying, there's a purpose behind them.
Check 1, check 1, 2.
Audio.
Yep.
Bippity-bop, bippity-bop.
Which, by the way, will be nice when we get ours in. Get them going again.
Yes, it will.
Yes, we'll get
I
the
heard
band.
Josh kind of almost teared up a little bit when
He did almost tear up when he found out what he was getting.
It's pretty nice.
He still doesn't have words for it.
So
Yes.
John's pretty excited for getting his too. The old Galaxy. He's like, Anyhow, so all right, well, we'll go ahead and move this show on along since we are running behind schedule. We'll go ahead and jump right into we'll make this one short and sweet. So into our news update. Coming up into the third mention of our title today of here on the show, Guns, Banquets, and Corona. Oh my, returning Fort Gordon personnel under quarantine.
Didn't have a safety ring.
I was waiting for that one. Fort Gordon officials are taking proactive steps to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Spokesman Buzz Yarnell said as several people at the base returning from other countries have been quarantined. Whoopsie! 4 people connected to the post have been in self-isolation since Tuesday after returning from countries under high alert for the virus, which are, hey, guess what? Iran, Italy, China, and South Korea. Yarnell would not
Shocker.
Yarnell would not say whether those in isolation are service members, dependents, contractors, or other personnel. Under guidelines from the Center of Disease Control and Prevention and the Defense Health Agency, service members returning to Fort Gordon from those countries are monitored before they leave, during return travel, and upon arrival at post, Yarnell said. As a result, several people are now under quarantine. He said Yarnell would not say whether the quarantine was on post. There are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 at the base, and leadership continues to work closely with local, state, and federal officials to ensure the health, welfare, and safety of its service members, Yarnell said. At North Carolina's Fort Bragg, the largest military installation in the U.S. Army, members and their families are being tested for the virus, according to the Fayetteville Observer newspaper. As World War... What's that? Vietnam. You have girlfriend Vietnam? Be careful, you might get something you don't want. It is unclear how many Fort Gordon personnel could be assigned to the 4 high alert countries. In December, the Army had more than 18,000 troops in South Korea, nearly 4,000 in Italy, according to Department of Defense statistics. The U.S. Army Cyber Command based at Fort Gordon has conducted at least 2 missions in South Korea, according to recent Army news reports. U.S. Army Regional Cyber Center Korea is operated by the Cyber Command. Eisenhower Army Medical Center on post advised anyone who thinks they have COVID-29, I think that's a typo, I think I meant to say 19, to follow CDC guidelines, which include staying home and isolating themselves from other people in addition to animals which can carry the virus. People who are or suspect they are infected should avoid sharing household items such as dishes or towels. Wear face masks, cover all coughs and sneezes, and wash hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, according to the CDC. They should call ahead before visiting a doctor and inform the provider about their diagnosis or suspected infection and any symptoms, the agency said. End of article. Thank you, American Military News. So, this just goes to show it doesn't just affect civilians, it can affect our service members too. Just saying. Which is sad because that totally just deflates the whole meme behind, you see Bane as the coronavirus and the guy in the pink suit representing veterans who have had their full anthrax vaccine as they're standing facing off like, what you gonna do, bro? What you gonna do?
Bro, I may have ingested local water in Iraq, so I'm probably immune.
Yeah, right. That's very true. That is very true. So, I don't know. I suffered the wrath of the burn pits in Iraq in 2003, so therefore I am immune to the coronavirus. Just throwing it out there.
Nobody is immune to it. I'm sorry.
Now, when you say burn pits, are you talking about the shitter burns? Or?
Both.
Oh.
Both trash and shitter burns.
Ugh.
Well, we did have that lithium ion battery cache that fucking exploded and caught fire right downwind from us too.
True story. True story.
Oh, I just got buzzed.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, when that thing went up, we're all looking like
pretty. So pretty.
Yeah, when that thing went up, we're all sitting outside our shoes looking over the walls going, that don't look right. Like, what is that going? What is that strange odor? Oh,
What is
that's
that
burning
black
lithium.
drop of smoke that's burning and going that way.
Yeah, it was not cool. So anyhow,
I always loved the question that I got asked when I came home on leave. Like, I heard it stinks over in Iraq. What does it smell like? I'm like, okay. See if I can find words to describe this in the stinky parts. Take a rubber boot, fill it full of sewage, put a little diesel fuel on top of it, throw a big handful of dirt and some motor oil, and light the fucker on fire.
Yep. That is Iraq in a nutshell. It's true, though. It's spot on. I mean, that is entirely spot on. You want to know what Kuwait is like? Take that same stench and then have someone stand there with a blow dryer in front of you.
Yep.
Turn it on full blast about 6 inches from your face and sit there and take handfuls of sand and just throw it into that.
So it's kind of like being in Albany when the mill was running.
Worse.
No, it's just like
I would rather drive through Albany back and forth. Yeah.
Try having to work at that mill.
What's that?
Said try having to work at that mill. That sucks.
Dude, I would rather. Just saying.
Hey, Shit Creek on the way out to Fob Hammer.
Especially if you're up in the turret. God.
Pete says simply poop. Touché, sir.
Pretty much. So, anyhow, so with that being said, that is this week's news update, which takes us into our next segment known as
Dummy of the Week.
I'll spell it for you. D-U-M-M-Y. Shut up, dummy. You big dummy. For every man, there's a woman. And for every dummy, there's a dummy.
And now, your Dummy of the Week on BB Nation Radio.
Take it away, Mariah.
All right, so this is from 16 News Now. And it was from March 5th. Attempted robber miserably fails after trying to break into gun shop.
Does that say femme fatale?
Oh, it goes down that rabbit hole. Just wait.
So South Bend, Indiana. It's one of those funny, stupid criminal moments that's hard to pass up. For most people, like Femme Fatale Guns and Sporting Incorporated owner Rebecca Bartol, the thought of committing a crime isn't on her radar. But for some, they are willing to go above and beyond to break the law, like the man who miserably failed at trying to break into Bartol's gun shop Wednesday night. He threw a rock and it landed over here in the window. Inspected the damage and saw he didn't do as much as it thought it did. Launches his body, which does not go through the window, but his foot does, causing a little crack. And then he horse kicks it and face plants, Bartel explained. Bartel called it the attempted robber South Bend's finest criminal after he was arrested minutes after walking away. Police identified the man as 27-year-old Henry Cooks, who was arrested for criminal mischief and attempted burglary. Luckily, Cooks chose a gun shop that was that could be seen just blocks away from the South Bend Police Department. Sergeant Jim Maxey said that he was surprised to find out Crooks tried breaking the glass with his body. Generally, you might use a rock, which he did, but when that failed, he said, well, I'll just use my body, and failed. I was really surprised. It looked very painful. What was painful for Bartel was seeing the...
He just tried to horse kick it. Look.
I thought that's what she was saying. He goes flying over the railing.
Yep. So what was also painful for Bartel was seeing the cracks in her storefront window that will now cost her up to $1,500 to replace. However, Bartel says Cooks got the better half of the damage. I'm guessing he got a little achy down there in county lockup this morning. When asked if she would ever thought her gun shop would have been receiving the end of a viral failed break-in attempt like this, she said it was always a thought it would be possible. We have been waiting for guys to throw at bricks to have the brick come back and hit them in the face because you really can't break through these windows, Bartel said. With Cooks in jail, Bartel with the cracked window, who gets the last laugh? Cooks or the window? If you ask Bartel, it's the viewers.
Yeah.
I think all of us do. I think all the winners in this one. We're all winners in this one. We're all the winners of the stupid criminal videos, Bartel said. Cooks is currently booked in the St. Joseph County Jail and awaiting for charges.
Hey, wait. Isn't it South Bend? Isn't this Mayor Pete Buttigieg?
Yep. That would be Buttigieg's town.
This
guy. And look at him. He just has that look on his face in his mugshot. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
His eyes aren't even open in his mugshot.
It's okay. He'll be back out on the street soon because he's in Mayor Pete's city.
Right? But, dude, that just... Oh, my God.
He tries to horse kick it and everything. And
I love this. Boop. And
he face plants.
He's like, yo, man, that didn't even crack the window. Hang on, let me horse kick this thing.
I got this, bruh. Oh, God.
It just... Idiot.
No, what would have been better is if the rock he used did bounce back and smack him right in the face.
Yeah, I was wondering if the story was going to go there or not because I was like, oh, that's going to be funny if it bounces and hits his face.
Terrell says Mayor Pete voter.
Yeah, I just...
Probably.
Wow, he's missing a few brain cells, you think?
Quite a few, really.
How that's not Florida man is beyond me.
When I first brought it up, I thought it was going to be Florida.
Hey, guess what? This is out of South Bend, Indiana.
Yep.
Good job, Florida. You need to step up your game again, man. Indiana's starting to beat you out.
Just a little.
Hey, if experience tells us anything, Florida will not disappoint.
No, they will not. There was actually a story that came out in Florida that was a close runner-up to that one. I was like, whoa, which one? I was like, no, Mariah, we got to go with the South Bend one. So
dum-dums.
Big dum-dums. Here, I'm going to try busting the window out. Horse kick style. Ah!
Bam! Bam!
Face plant.
Well, most gun shops that I've seen usually have, bars on the windows and stuff like that. But, having this, high strength, plexiglass or whatever they've got.
Right.
I mean, they're pretty dang impenetrable.
They obviously have ballistic windows.
Why would you choose this one that's only blocks away from a police station?
That's even better. The cops probably just walked over and was like, how you doing, bud?
What you doing, bro?
Oh.
That's almost as bad as our dummy of the year last year. our three-time 15-minute of famer gentleman out of Gladstone.
I'm just going to call him the champ.
He is the reigning champ right now, which is bad because he's not a Florida guy. He's an Oregon guy. Dum-dum.
Durham is here.
Yeah, Durham is here.
Here.
So, all right.
Well,
that leaves us with just under 13 minutes left here in the show.
Yeah, man.
what do you say we go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing out so we can call it a night, shall we, folks? So, John, you're up first, brother.
Oh, God. Let's see here. Safety brief time. So, don't beat your husbands. Don't beat your wives. Don't be a disgusting human being. Wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer. Don't spread coronavirus if you're sick. Stay the hell at home. Seriously. Don't be getting everybody sick. Do what now?
I'm going to use that excuse this week.
Juggle the nuggets.
I have coronavirus. I need to stay home.
But with that, if you're not sick, get up off your duff. Get outside. Go have an adventure. Go out in the woods. If you're in Central Oregon, stop by the Central Oregon Expo Center or the Redmond, Deschutes County Fair and Expo Center. Come and see us. Come and see TFO. Come see this awesome rifle that we have that we are going to be raffling off at Guitars for Stars. Yeah, get off your duff. Get out of your house. Go have an adventure. Stay safe. And yeah, if you're gonna play on the field, wrap it up.
There you go. No true words have been spoken, good sir. Mariah.
If you don't wrap it, don't be a dummy. Go on our tummy.
Hey, there she goes. Nice, well done.
Get out and about and everything. Share a smile with somebody. It could change their day and everything. We had a long weekend this weekend. Next weekend's going to be long. Weekend after that for me is going to be long. I got a lot going on. So hopefully I get a little bit of rest during the week. But we'll see what happens. Other than that, I don't have a whole